Thanks for that episode of Yoga with Barbara for instructions on the triangle pose. And we're back, and our guest today is Ray Cody from Cars and Colors. Ray, thanks for coming in today.
Luke, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So Ray, we're going to talk about Cars and Colors, the history, what we expect for this year's festival and the future. But before we do that, we have a tradition here at Almost Live where we like to give our guests the opportunity to kind of tell their Telluride story. You know, when did you get to town? What brought you to town initially? And then, why Telluride continues to be your mountain town of choice.
Yeah. I'm originally from Chicago.
Okay.
I lived in Wichita, Kansas. I owned apartment complexes there. I came to Telluride with a buddy who knew John Roth. He's a local legend, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So my buddy grew up with John, and John's from Wichita, Kansas.
Really?
So we came out to visit John. And, prior to that, Luke, I had been in Denver, and I thought I was in the mountains, right? So we got to Telluride, and I'm looking around, and I'm going, oh, my
here they
gosh, that's right. I ended up putting in an offer on a property while I was here and bought the property. It became a flip project for me. Bought it, sold it 18 months later, did pretty good on it, was impressed in the market in Telluride. I'm a real estate investor, so in 2005, I was a single man. I had met my wife. We were up here on a trip as a girlfriend and boyfriend, and the bed and breakfast on Main Street was for sale.
Okay.
So they had an open house, and we walked in it, and my wife is looking at the ceiling, and she's saying, "Could you imagine living here?" And so that's all I needed.
You could imagine.
We ended up
there.
getting married here, and made our home here. We bought that property and made our home here, and we've been here since 2006.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. So Ray, tell us a little bit about the history of Cars and Colors, the origin, and the inspiration for bringing that festival to Telluride.
In 2000 and maybe 6 or 7, I wanted to do it because I saw that we had a great venue here, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm an entrepreneur, and so I was looking for another business opportunity. The Cars and Colors thing just kind of evolved. In 2000, in that time, the economy wasn't that good. My wife is, she's really good on the business side of business, and we really gave it a strong look and decided that we didn't want to make the financial commitment at that time. Moving fast forward, the economy is good, things are lively, there's a car culture that we're trying to develop here in Telluride, and it's just taken off.
Yeah.
It's our 5th year.
Yeah, and congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And I think, I guess another question I have for you is, do you have a background in festivals or running large events that a 4-day festival, entails?
I don't. In fact, I'm a real estate investor. My background is apartment complexes, shopping centers, hotels, those types of things. I've never done anything like that. Therefore, it was hard to create a budget for it because I just didn't know what these kinds of things cost.
Sure.
It was a rude awakening. We're 5 years into it,
Yeah.
and it's not turned the corner yet financially. I'm okay. The thing that I'm enjoying seeing is the growth of the event, and really what's happening with it. This year is an exciting year. We have Carol Shelby is our feature mark, and within that I have Gary Patterson, the president of Shelby Motors here, and I have some of Carol's very earliest cars.
Wow.
So that's our center mark at the airport this year.
Great, and I think unique about Cars and Colors is that you don't have there's not a main headliner or a stage necessarily. Your venue literally is the backdrop of the San Juans, Main Street in Telluride, a couple of places in Mountain Village, and I believe the airport as well, right? So you're letting these natural settings do the heavy lifting for these beautiful vintage vehicles that people are bringing to town.
Yeah. Luke, I'm trying to make it a regional event. I'm trying to emulate what's going on in Monterey at Pebble Beach, where at Pebble, and I go there, it's all up and down the coast. Every golf course is involved. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create it regional. So we've created this $1 Million Highway Road Rally. Rico, Dolores, all those communities, Silverton, Ouray, our rally goes through those events, or through those communities, and we're trying to build it now, going into 2020. We have a new element, which will be the Jeep, the 4-wheel drive element.
Oh, cool.
It'll be sponsored by Texas Truck Works, a big truck builder. They build these $300,000 Jeep builds, right?
Wow.
So they're going to sponsor that event, and it will go from Telluride over the mountains to those communities.
Oh, nice.
And the lodging and the restaurants in those communities are going to be able to benefit from our event as well.
Cool.
So I'm thinking bigger than Telluride.
Right.
I'm thinking regional, and then I'm thinking bigger than that. I'm thinking that we have the best venue on earth.
Absolutely.
And I really believe that, and I've heard that out of the best car owners in the world's mouths.
Right.
They didn't have to tell me that, but when they came and saw our venue, those were the things they said, and I'm in agreement.
Sure, and it makes your job easier when you can, show people where they get to showcase their babies, right? These
That's
cars
right.
that they've put
Yeah.
so much passion and energy into, and
Yeah.
they get to come here and show them in a beautiful backdrop. So, okay, so for those of us not familiar with Cars and Colors, you're going into your 5th year, give us a little rundown on, what we can expect, some of the opportunities that we might have, and then kind of wrap it up by letting us know how we can get involved and what ticket options are.
Yeah, thank you. It starts today. We've increased it to a week, and this is a kind of a prototype year for the week-long event. So I have Corvettes and Colors arriving today. You'll see 50, 60, 70 Corvettes on Main Street over the next day or so. They've got an airport evening event that we're doing tonight. And then moving into tomorrow, they're going to do a road rally and a poker run, and they're only Corvettes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They approached us about piggybacking onto our event. Thursday starts Cars and Colors. It's a rival. We do the Great Taste of Mountain Village event up here in the Mountain Village, who's been a great partner in this event. The Owners Association, Telski, the community as well. We do that. And then on Friday, we do our road rally, which is all through the communities that I had mentioned. Saturday is our big day. It's our air show. We have the highest elevation air show on Earth this year. We haven't marketed it that way because, again, we're testing the waters this year with it. But it's real, and it's up at the airport. It's Saturday. We have our Concours event on the golf course on Saturday, and it's the American Concours. Saturday evening, we have our guest speaker, Gary Patterson, the president of Shelby, and our Shelby event at the airport. Sunday again is a Concours event, and then we have our Alpen Glow, which is our closing ceremony. We give the awards. It's kind of a culmination of the 4 days coming together, and we throw a nice party and tell
Awesome.
you. Yeah.
Great. Well, if you're into cars, motorcycles, airplanes, even if you're not, check out Cars and Colors. Someone who's seen your Main Street display, it's hard not to just ogle over these beautiful machines that are in town. And thanks for bringing them to Telluride,
Thanks
and
for
have a
having me,
great
Rick.
5th festival. And best luck in the future.
I appreciate you. And thanks for your
Absolutely, Ray.
support. All right,
Absolutely.
take care.